Good morning. Derrick Chevalier here, and my guest this morning is Joe Dimino of Joe Dimino and Associates, an enrolled tax agent. So good morning. How are you this morning?
Hi, Derek. Good morning to you.
Great. So here's the question. Why is my refund so small?
Oh my gosh, I'm listening to all the newscasts these days, and everyone is so upset because of these refunds that are smaller or they're paying so much money.
Right. So
Right.
I'm paying more and I'm getting less back.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's actually not the case because everyone that's getting less of a refund or paying more has been already receiving that refund throughout the year in their paychecks.
Oh, so is that a part of the new tax law? Is that
That's correct, the new tax law. So the Tax Cut and Jobs Act that is new to this year is giving everybody less of a tax liability because the tax rates, the different stratas, there are 7 different tax rates, have been lowered.
So what I hear you saying is that I have been paying less each week or each month, and then I'm getting back a little more each week or each month, so that my total tax refund, the check I might get back at the end, would be a little smaller because I've actually got to add all of that extra I've gotten.
Yeah, you may not have noticed it because, like a bonus somebody gets at the end of the year or every quarter, like this big chunk of money. It's like a slow, a little bit of trickling into your paychecks every week, however often that you get paid.
Right. So here's my next question. I hear people talk about their tax refund and how big the tax check is and all of that. But what are some of the misconceptions that you find as an enrolled agent? You're working with clients. What are some of the big misconceptions as I'm getting ready for tax season and looking for my refund?
Well, the thing is, you shouldn't really look for a refund. You should try to do more of a planning than a preparation. When somebody has all their tax documents, they get them ready to go to their tax advisor, and they say, "Here, prepare my taxes. Give me my refund." It's more than that. You should be planning forward and trying to go to your tax advisor and say, "Okay, what can I do to take the future, bring it into the present, and fix it now?"
Okay, so what I hear you saying is that if what I've done is waited all year and then I bring in my tax documents at the end of the year, that's focused, the outcome's already set by what I've done.
Right.
So as an enrolled agent, when you're working with a client, you're not just seeing a client at the end of the year, are you? What's happening during the course of the year?
Well, my ideal client is, like I say, it's more of a preparation thing. I mean, a planning thing, I should say. So we're actually putting together a goal, and we're trying to get there in a certain way.
So when you say putting together a goal, does that mean that I'm paying more money? Does that mean you're helping me understand how to plan for retirement? It's a lot more than just preparing my tax return.
Right. So, for example, if you want to get more money in your paycheck, and you work for a company, there's a W-4 form that you would fill out, and you would say, check the amount of allowances that I want. The more allowances that you put down, the more money in your paycheck, and then you're going to be paying back at the end of the year. But the less allowances you choose, like just say like you're married 0, you'll be getting less in your check and more at the end of the year. So I think what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get just the right amount. You want to choose the correct amount of allowances. Yes.
Right, a balance.
So it's not just choosing those allowances, but it could be in conjunction with maybe upping your 401k plan.
Right.
And those two things together can be the benefit to you.
Right. So tell me about your ideal client. Is it somebody that makes a ton of money or what's the ideal client look like that you're working with?
Well, the ideal client isn't just somebody who has a certain amount of money, it comes from a certain geography. It's somebody that wants to listen to a plan and let's do it. So, for example, if there's somebody who's like a 1 W-2, maybe 2 W-2 kind of a taxpayer, that person may be a do-it-yourself person, go to your local H&R Block, or they come to me and say, you know what, prepare my taxes, but what else can I do to help me grow? Invest in my IRA, or there's other investment vehicles, something else that's a forward-looking process.
Right. So that brings up the issue. You talk about H&R Block and Hewitt and other tax preparation companies. Now, you're an enrolled agent. So give me a little bit, what's the difference between an enrolled agent and a CPA or a tax preparer, for instance?
Okay, so I've taken the enrolled agent exam, which is a federally licensed exam. I've taken the CPA exam, which is a state licensed exam. So the CPA exam, they test you on various things as far as auditing or bookkeeping, and there's a little bit about taxes on there. Whereas the enrolled agent exam is a federally licensed exam, and you can go to any state and it's only on taxation. So somebody who takes that test and passes it, they know a lot about taxes. They know quite a bit about taxes, so they can help you in different ways.
Right, so that they can help you not only with the immediate tax liability, but the bigger issue of should I just be doing, for instance, a standard deduction versus an itemized deduction? As I understand that it's standard deduction, 24,000 or something versus individually. Explain that. What does that mean?
Well, if I were to give you an analogy, just say that every year you make a certain amount of money. Every taxpayer makes their earnings or their unearned earnings, and they go to the tax mall. They go to the tax mall, and they can either opt to go to the customer service desk right away and say, here's how much I made, what's my standard deduction? So they would reduce that standard deduction to a taxable amount and figure your taxes. Or you can shop around the mall and go to the different shops to find out, okay, this is the mortgage interest store, this is the property tax store, this is the charitable contribution store, and then get a discount or a voucher for each of those stores, add them up, and see if they're more than the standard deduction. The bigger of the two will help you the most.
So basically I look to find out whether or not I can actually get more than a $24,000 and then reduce my tax liability. And even if I am standard, you could help me make decisions about how to set up things like a health account. What is that, a health HSA?
Health savings account,
Right,
HSA,
right.
yes.
And tell me how that helps me.
Well, an HSA, some tax deductions are beneficial for one way or two ways. So an HSA is a health savings account where you put money in for some medical expense that you have later on. So that actually has a triple tax effect, which means that all the contributory dollars that you have contributed to that HSA are deductible on your tax return. That's one. The second thing is all the interest that it's earned is tax-free. And the third thing is if you take the money out and use it for medical expenses only, then it's tax-free as well. So it's triple tax.
Triple
Yes.
tax benefit.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So listen, as we finish up, tell me who is your ideal client and where are they located?
They can be located anywhere because most of my clients are all referrals actually, and they come from different states all across the country. So somebody that wants to go somewhere with me, hold hands and just go down that journey and have me help them, guide them, it's all fair game.
Right, so that it can be any real income over a long period of time. It can also be somebody that you're helping to grow into wealth and into retirement. Much different than simply somebody who's doing your taxes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Personally, I know it's important to have somebody that's got a lot of integrity because ultimately the tax preparer or the taxpayer is responsible for that return. So an enrolled agent can be with me as I move throughout my career, different locations, and that's a big benefit too.
Right.
So it's a long-term relationship as a client rather than just a customer that you're going to see at tax time to talk about a single return or refund.
Yes. A customer to me is somebody who goes to the dry cleaner and asks for their dry cleaning or goes to the burger joint, where's my burger? But a client is somebody who I want, somebody who's going to work with me and grow with me.
You would grow a relationship.
Yes, sure.
It's fantastic. So how do people get in touch with you?
Well, I've got a website. It's DiminoAssociates.com. And you can go there, and my phone numbers are there. My cell phone and my office phone are both there.
Thanks so much. So my guest this morning, Joe Dimino. Contact his office, Joe Dimino and Associates, and create a relationship.